Hello friends, in this video we'll cover the SAT Math Practice Test number 5, Module 1, Official Test Solutions. This is the test provided at College Board site. You can log on to www.primeaptiacademy.com to access complete free SAT course having all the lecture videos, practice questions and solved sample papers. So this is the first question. It's a pretty straightforward one. It says the graph of a system of linear equation and a non-linear equation is shown. So the curve is the non-linear equation and the line is the linear. What is the solution xy to the system? Solution is the point of intersection is this point. So x is 4 here and y is 5. So 4, 5. Answer option C is the answer here. Now the second question says, on the first day of a semester, a film club has 90 members on the first day. Each day after the first day of the semester, 10 new members join the film club. So every day 10 new members join. If no members leave the film club, how many total members will be there in the film club after 4 days after the first day of semester? So every day 10 people join after the first day and there are 4 days after the first day. So 90 plus 4 into 10, that will be the total number of members in the film club. That is 90 plus 40, which is 130. Answer option B is correct here. Now this question says the graph of a linear function f is shown. This is a linear function where y is equal to f of x. What is the y-intercept of the graph of f? Y-intercept is point where x is 0. This point is y-intercept. So it is 0, 8. So answer option D, 0, 8 is the right answer here. Now this question says s plus 7r equal to 27, r equal to 3. What is the solution r, s of the given system of equations? R is 3. Putting r equal to 3 above, we get s plus 7 into 3 is 21 is equal to 27. So s is equal to 6. So r, s is 3, 6 is the solution. Answer option B is correct here. Now this says the table shows selected values from function f. X is minus 1, f of x is 16. X is 0, f of x is 17. X is 1, f of x is 18. X is 2, f of x is 19. So every one increment in x, if I am increasing x by 1, f of x is also increasing by 1. That means it's an increasing and linear relationship. Okay, because as x increases, f of x increases. So that's an increasing relationship and it is linear because every step increase will have a similar step increase here. Means if I am increasing it by 1, here also increase by 1 is happening. Okay, so it's an increasing linear, which is option B is correct. Now this question says the graph of a system of linear equations is shown. The solution to this is x, y. What is the value of x? So solution is actually point of intersection. This point is x is 4 and y is 1. We just want to find the value of x, which is 4. So 4 is the right answer here. Now this question says I have these values. What is the range of these 7 scores? Range is maximum value minus minimum value. That is 52 minus 23, which is 29. That is the range. That is the answer here. Now I have this figure. It says in the figure line M is parallel to line N. So M is parallel to N. Okay. And line K intersects both the lines. Which of the following statement is true? So this is x and this is 145. This is x and this is 145. Okay. So from the figure we understand that these angles have to be equal. So x degree should be equal to 145 degree. That is what we know. Now the question is the value of x is less than 145. That is wrong. The value of x is greater than 145 is wrong. The value of x is equal to 145 is correct. Answer option C is right. Now this question says the function f is defined by f of x is equal to 270 into 0.1 raised to x. What is the value of f of 0? F of 0 is when x is 0, that will be 270 into 0.1 raised to 0, which is equal to 270 only. So answer option D, 270 is right here. Now this question says Scott selected 20 employees at random from all 400 employees at a company. He found that 16 of the employees in the sample are enrolled in exactly 3 professional development courses this year. Based on Scott's finding, which of the following is the best estimate of the number of employees at a company who are enrolled in exactly 3 professional development courses this year? So out of 400 employees, 20 were selected as a sample. So out of these 20, 16 were enrolled in 3 professional courses. So 16 is what? 80% of 20. So that means from the sample 80% of the people are enrolled in 3. So if we use the same estimate for the entire 400 employees, 80% of 400 employees should be then enrolled in 3 professional development courses. What is 80% of 400? That is 320. So answer option B, 320 is correct here. Now it says if 4 times x minus 28 is minus 24, what is the value of x minus 7? So from here I can take 4 common. It becomes 4 times x minus 7 equal to minus 24. And then x minus 7 equal to minus 24 by 4, which is minus 6. So x minus 7 is minus 6. Answer option C is correct here. Now this question says for a snowstorm in a certain town, the minimum rate of snowfall recorded was 0.6 inches per hour. So minimum is 0.6 and maximum rate was recorded as 1.8 inches per hour. Maximum is 1.8 inches per hour. Which inequality is true for all values of S, where S represents the rate of snowfall in inches per hour? So S actually lies between 0.6 and 0.8. The minimum was 0.6, so it is also included. So that is why S is greater than or equal to 0.6. At the same time, S is less than or equal to 1.8. So answer option D is the correct answer here. Now this question says y equal to 4x and y equal to x square minus 12. A solution to the given system of equation x comma y is where x is greater than 0. What is the value of x? So x is greater than 0. So y equal to 4x. If I solve this, I can write 4x is equal to x square minus 12 because y is 4x. This becomes a quadratic. X square minus 4x minus 12 is equal to 0. So this can be done as x square minus 6x plus 2x minus 12 is equal to 0. So that is x into x minus 6 plus 2 into x minus 6 is equal to 0. So I get x is equal to either 6 or minus 2. 6 or minus 2. X is greater than 0. So minus 2 is rejected. So what is the value of x? 6 is the value of x. That is the right answer here. Now this question says a store sells 2 different sized containers of blueberries. The store's sales of these blueberries totaled $896.86 last month. The equation 4.51x plus 6.07y is equal to 896.86 represents this situation, okay, where x is the number of smaller containers sold and y is the number of larger containers sold. So x is the number of smaller containers sold, y is the number of larger containers sold. So that means 4.51 is dollar amount of smaller container, one small container, and 6.07 is dollar amount of one larger container. You add them and you will give a total of $896.86, which was the total sales. According to the equation, what is the price in dollar of each of the smaller container? We have already know that each of the smaller container has to be 4.51 from the equation. So 4.51 is the right answer here. Now this question says a right circular cylinder has a base diameter of 22 centimeters. So diameter is 22, radius is 11 centimeter. Height is 6 centimeters, so height is 6 centimeter. What is the volume in cubic centimeter of the cylinder? Volume is pi r square h. Putting in the values, it will be pi times r square is 121, 11 square, and h is 6. So this becomes 726 pi. 726 pi, which is answer option C. That's the correct answer here. Now this question says the graph of rational function f is shown. Let me expand this graph like this. Is shown where y equal to f of x and x is greater than 0. Okay. Which of the following represents the graph of y equal to f of x plus 5? So I have graph of y equal to f of x. I need to find the graph of y equal to f of x plus 5. F of x plus 5. So if it is plus 5, which is outside of f of x, that means the graph shifts 5 units upwards. So I have this graph, the graph shifts 5 units upwards. So at x equal to 10, y is almost equal to 2. In the graph, at x equal to 10, in the solution, graph x equal to 10, y should be equal to, okay, so here it is 10 and 1. No, sorry, yeah, 10 and 1. So it should be x equal to 10, y equal to 6, it should be. So if you look at this option, at x equal to 10, y equal to 6, answer option D. Also, if you look from these graphs, all the graphs, D, what happens is the same type of graph is there, just it moves upwards by 5 units, which is what is needed. So answer option D is correct. Or you can actually start by putting some of the points. Like here, you can say x equal to 10, so y equal to 1. So at x equal to 10 of f of x plus 5, y should be equal to 6. Here y is not 6, here y is not 6, here y is not 6. Only here y is 6. So answer option D is correct here. Now this 17th question says, at a particular track meet, the ratio of coaches to athlete is 1 to 26. So coaches to athlete, the ratio is 1 upon 26. If there are x coaches at the track meet, which of the following expression represents the number of athletes in the track meet? So x upon a is 1 upon 26. Athlete should be 26 into x, which is answer option B. Now it says Kailani used fabric measuring 5 yards in length to make each suit for a men's square. The relationship between the number of suits that Kailani made, which is x, and the total length of fabric that she purchased, y. So y is the fabric she purchased, and she made x suit, and for one suit she is using 5 yards. So in all, Kailani is using 5x yards of fabric, but she purchased y units. So the relationship between the number purchased in yards is represented by the equation y minus 5x is equal to 6. What is the best interpretation of 6 in this context? So now if you look at it, what has happened is Kailani bought 5 yard. 5x is the amount of material used by Kailani. So amount bought minus the amount used is 6. So she bought 6 yards more than what is needed. Okay. So if you look at it, answer option first says Kailani made 6 suits. It's incorrect. Second, Kailani purchased a total of 6 yards of fabric. No, because she purchased Y. Kailani used a total of 6 yards of fabric to make the suits. It is also wrong. It's not 6 yards of fabric. Used is 5x. So answer option D is the only remaining one. It should be correct, but we'll see it. It says Kailani purchased 6 yards more fabric than she used to make the suits. This is the one. Because she purchased 6 yards more than what is needed. 5x was needed. She got Y. So, and difference between them is 6. So, she got 6 yards more than what was needed. Okay, so answer option D is correct. Now, the next question says, what is the value of tan of 92 pi by 3? Tan of 92 pi by 3. I will write it as tan of 90 pi by 3 plus 2 pi by 3. Okay, 90 pi by 3 is what? 30 pi. Okay, tan 30 pi plus 2 pi by 3 is same as tan of 2 pi by 3. Okay, because after every even multiple of pi, you come back here. This is the first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant. So one circle is 2 pi, two circle is 4 pi, then 6 pi, 8 pi. So after every even multiple, you come back at the same first quadrant only. So, or at 0 degree only. So tan of 30 pi plus 2 pi by 3 same as tan 2 pi by 3. Now what is this? Tan 2 pi by 3 is tan of 120 degree. Tan 120 degree is tan of 90 degree plus 30 degree. What is tan 90 30? That is minus cot 30 degree. Minus cot 30 degree. What is cot 30 degree? Root 3. Minus of cot 30 degree is minus root 3. Answer option A is correct here. Okay. Now this question says figure is not drawn to scale. In the triangle, what is the value of cos x degree? Cos x degree is 11 by 28. Straight away, this is x degree. Cos of x degree is, base is 11 here, this is 90 degree, and hypotenuse is 28. So cos x is 11 upon 28. That is the right answer. Now this says the function g is defined by g of x is equal to x plus 14 times t minus x, where t is a constant. In the xy plane, the graph of y equal to g of x passes through the point 24, 0. So that means when x is 24, g of x is 0. So here when x is minus 14, then also g of x is 0. But when x is 24, then g of x is 0. That means this t has to be equal to 24, because t minus 24 becomes 0. That means t has to be 24. So g of x is nothing but x plus 14 times 24 minus x. This is g of x. What is the value of g of 0? So if this is g of x, g of 0 will be what? You put x as 0. This is 14 and again here x as 0. 14 into 24. If you do 24 into 14, 24 into 4 is 96. 96 and this is 24. This is 6, 9 and 4, 13. 1 here. 6, 9, 4, 13. 1 here to 336. So 336 is the answer here. Okay. Now the next question says x plus 4 whole square plus y minus 19 whole square is equal to 121. The graph of the given equation is a circle in the xy plane. The point a comma b lies on the circle. Which of the following is a possible value of a? So first of all, what this means is, I'm going to write it here, x plus 4 whole square plus y minus 19 whole square equal to 11 square. That means this is a circle with center minus 4 comma 19 and radius is 11. So if I try to draw this circle, center is minus 4 comma 19. So let's say this point is minus 4 comma 19 for our sake, and radius is 11. Okay, that means the circle goes somewhat like this. Okay, somewhat like this, and over here let's assume that this is the center. Then the rightmost point over here on the circle center, this is minus 4 comma 19, is the radius is 11. So point minus 4, if I move 7 units to the right, I will get x coordinate, y coordinate here is 19. X coordinate will be what? Minus 4 plus 11, that is 7. And from here, if I move 11 units on the left hand side, which is further negative side, then that will be minus 4 and then you move 11 units here. So it is minus 15. So the question is now asking a comma b, that means the point a comma b lies on the circle, which is a possible value of a. I am only talking about a, so I am only worried about x coordinate. So the circle moves like this and this. So the x coordinate of the circle, any point lying on the circle, the x coordinate goes from minus 15 to 7. Okay, that is the conclusion. So a lies between minus 15 and 7. So we know that a lies between minus 15 and 7. Minus 16 doesn't lie in that. Minus 14 lies, so that is the answer. If you check the other, 11 doesn't lie in this range and 19 also doesn't lie in this range. So a goes from minus 15 to 7. Minus 15 to 7. So minus 14 is the answer here. Okay, so this next question says a right rectangular prism has, so this is nothing but a cuboid or a cube, right rectangular prism, has height of 9 inches. So height is 9 inches. The length of the base of the prism is x inches. So length L is x inches, which is 7 more than the width of the prism. So width is x minus 7. Okay. Which of the function V gives the volume of the prism? Volume of the prism is nothing but product of them. So V will be then equal to 9 into x minus 7. 9 into x. Answer option D is correct here. Okay. So the question says which of the following functions has or have a minimum value at minus 3? First function is f of x equal to minus 6 times 3 raised to x minus 3. So if I put x as minus 3, okay, at x equal to minus 3, what do I get? F of x is minus 6 times 3 raised to minus 3, that is 3 divided by 3 cube minus 3. Okay, I can actually get a much lower value if I have positive values of x. Let's say x is 100, then f of x becomes at x equal to 100. This is f of minus 3. This is f of minus 3. What will be f of 100? That will be minus x into 3 raised to 100 minus 3. It is a much smaller value than this because minus 6 is being multiplied by a very big number. So gives me a very big negative number. and then you deduct minus 3 from that very big negative number. So you get a very big negative number here in comparison to here. So at x equal to minus 3, f of x doesn't give me the minimum value for sure, because I can get further as I increase x, f of x becomes further smaller. Now the second one says g of x is minus 3 into 6 raised to x. So at x equal to minus 3, what is g of minus 3? That is minus 3 into 6 raised to minus 3, which is divided by 6 cube. Divided by 6. Again over here, if I put x as a positive number, a huge positive number, okay, this will become further smaller. Let's say I put x as 100. So what is g of 100? That is minus 3 into 6 raised to 100. 6 raised to 100 will be a very big number, and you multiply minus 3 by that, will give a very big negative number. So that means a very small number. So this value g of 100 is much smaller than g of minus 3. So you do not get minus 3 minimum for g of x also at x equal to minus 3. Okay. So neither 1 nor 2 is the answer here. Now the next question says the result of increasing quantity x by 400% is 60. What is the value of x? If x is increased by 400%. What this means is the answer is x into 1 plus 400 by 100, which is 1x into 1 plus 4, which is 5x. So 5x is given to be 60. That means x equal to 12. The value of x is 12. Answer option A is correct here. Now this question says the function f is defined by f of x equal to ax square plus bx plus c, where a, b and c are constants. The graph of y equal to f of x in xy plane passes through the points 7, 0 and minus 3, 0. If a has an integer greater than 1, which of the following could be the value of a plus b? The graph passes through 7, 0 and minus 3, 0. That means when x is 7, f of x is 0, and when x is minus 3, f of x is again 0. So in this equation, f of x is equal to ax square plus bx plus c. We will put 7, 0. So when x is 7, f of x is 0. So 0 is equal to a into 7 square, which is a into 49, plus b into 7, which is 7b, plus c. So it is 49a plus 7b plus c. Similarly, the graph passes through minus 3, 0. So f of x is 0 when x is minus 3. So again put x as minus 3 here. A into minus 3 square, that is 9a. Then minus 3b, because x is minus 3, plus c. So I have these two equations. If I deduct them to eliminate c, what do I get? Here it is 0. 49a minus 9a is 40a, and this is plus 10b. So 40a plus 10b is equal to 0, or I can say 4a plus b is equal to 0. Okay, divide both the sides by 10. So 4a plus b is equal to 0. I want to find the value of a plus b. So from here I can write a plus b plus 3a is equal to 0. Okay, so what is a plus b? A plus b is minus 3a. Okay, so a plus b is minus 3a. And I know a is an integer greater than 1. A has an integer greater than 1. Okay, so an integer greater than 1. So what is the value a plus b can have? It has to be of the form minus 3 into an integer greater than 1. So from the options, answer option A is correct, because a can be 2. When a is 2, it is minus 3 into 2, which is 6. Okay, if you look at other options, it will not work, because b says minus 3. If a plus b is minus 3, then a is 1, which is incorrect, because a has to be greater than 1. C and D option gives me positive, which is incorrect, because for them a has to be negative, but it says a is an integer greater than 1, so it can't be negative also. So answer option A is the only answer option that is possible, which is correct here. Now the last question says here, the function g is defined by g of x is equal to x into x minus 2 into x plus 6 whole square. The value of g of 7 minus w is 0, where w is a constant. What is the sum of all possible values of w? So for what values, let's say I have g of k is 0. So for what values of k this is true? This is for what value of x this is true? Okay, this is true first of all if g of k, let me write x only. So this is g of x. What is, if g of x is equal to 0, what are the values of x? X can be 0. If x is 0, this entire thing is 0. Or x is 2. Or x is minus 6. Okay, you get actually two roots over here, minus 6 and minus 6. They are equal. So, but the value is minus 6. So, these three values of x I get. I have been given g of 7 minus w is 0. So, first situation, 7 minus w can be 0 because at x equal to 0, I am getting g of x is 0. So, if g of 7 minus w is 0, then 7 minus w can be 0. So, from here I conclude w can be 7. Or I can get 7 minus w is equal to 2. Okay. Because if g of x is 0, x is 2. If g of 7 minus w is 0, then 7 minus w can be 2. So, from here I can get w is equal to 5. 7 minus 5 is 2. Okay. This 2 plus w and 7 minus 2, 5. Yeah. And finally, similarly, 7 minus w can be minus 6. In this case, w can be 13. This goes here. Yeah. In this case, w can be 13. So, what is the sum of all possible values of w? The possible values are 7, 5 and 13. So, 7 plus 5 is 12, 12 plus 13 is 25. 25 is the sum, possible sum, which is the right answer. Okay. So, that ends this solution of this set.